Hi there. Back in 1859, three big European armies came together to fight. Surprisingly, that's related to the riots in 2020 in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse. Some 300,000 men battled at Solferino. That's near Milan in today's Italy. Some 50,000 became casualties. It was the second worst bloodbath in the 19th century. It was the last time monarchs actually led their own armies. You know, they didn't, of course, fight. Emperors don't get their own hands dirty, do they? Franz Joseph I led the Austro-Hungarian army. The French were under Napoleon III. Now, he was allied to Victor Emmanuel II and his Piedmont Sardinian army. Italy wasn't a country anymore back then. After the fall of the Roman Empire, it had fragmented. This battle, this war, was part of its reassembly. In 1871, Garibaldi captured the city of Rome and made it the capital of the new Kingdom of Italy. However, Risorgimento, I know speak the Italian so good. Risorgimento, reunification, kept on going until after World War I. Let's skip to August 2020. Kenosha, Wisconsin endured 2 days and 2 nights of riots. The police stood down. Some $100 million of loss, over 150 businesses, either totally destroyed or just badly damaged. It was the 10th worst riot in U.S. history. On the third day, 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse had finished his lifeguard shift, and then he joined a bunch of teens who were cleaning graffiti that rioters had sprayed on the high school. His family lives in Kenosha. Grandmother, father, aunt, uncle, cousins. His best friend lives there. So that evening he armed himself and went to protect the commercial center of the town. Kyle was on the ground. He walked around. He put out fires. He gave medical aid. You may have seen the videos. A guy shouting, "I'll kill you," reaches for Kyle's rifle, and so Kyle shoots him. He then looks for the police. The mob chases him, knocks him down, kicks his head, hits him with rocks, smashes him with a skateboard. A guy with a gun points it right at his head. Kyle shoots 4 bullets. Was it self-defense? That's for the jury to decide. It's been a hugely political question. Kyle was called a murderer, a racist, a domestic terrorist. Joe Biden called him a white supremacist when he was running for office, even though Rittenhouse and the 3 men who got shot were all white. Wisconsin officials were worried that a not guilty verdict to the first-degree murder charges, life imprisonment, would restart the riots. So they got the National Guard ready. Should Rittenhouse have tried to protect Kenosha, or should he have stayed home and safe? Was he helping the law, which is something that we treasure? I don't know. What I do know is that over 150 years ago, a man named Jean Henri Dumont went to see Napoleon III right before the battle. Jean Henri toured the field afterwards and was horrified by the suffering of the thousands of wounded, the bloody, horrible aftermath of fighting. How much blood do 50,000 casualties spill on the ground? I don't want to know. I hope you don't either. In 1862, he published a short book, Memories of Solferino. What he did next is worthy of legend. He took the 2 proposals that were in that book and he made them real. The first called for the permanent establishment of a humanitarian relief agency for times of war. Monsieur Dumont did good. The Red Cross was established in 1863, 1 year after the book was published. The second proposal was for government treaties to codify the treatment of wounded soldiers, another thing that was badly needed. In 1864, the first Geneva Convention agreements were formalized. They were later expanded to describe how war itself should be conducted. In the agreements, they said that aid workers were to be allowed on battlefields, they were to be neutral, and they could care for both sides. So what about 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse? In the late 1800s, Protestant Americans believed Italians were natural-born criminals and that those from the south of Italy who had olive skin were almost black. Now this led to the lynching. It's terrible. The lynching of 11 Italians in New Orleans in 1891. How is this any different from the almost daily lynchings of Kyle Rittenhouse by the media, by pundits, by government officials? We all bleed red, making it the most important human color. But, and there's always a but, never forget that the truth matters a lot. The evidence from the trial proves that much of what was said by many prior to the trial and what's even being said now is not true. There are other things that matter too. Let me remind of 4. First, the U.S. is a special nation because it was founded on the ideal that all men and women were created equal. Second, the U.S. was born of revolution, so we should always oppose injustice. Third, taking care of family, friends, and neighbors is always the right thing to do. And now the last one. We are all presumed innocent, always, until proven guilty. Both the media and elected officials might want to spread these truths. And you too. By the way, Jean Henri Dumont had a really hard life. Born to wealth, he wound up in abject poverty. He then became internationally famous and died alone in room 12. His story is sad. It's inspirational. Consider how many millions sufferings were relieved because of him. Another, by the way, in 1901, Jean Henri Dumont was awarded the first Nobel Peace Prize, the very first. I am Mike for the Be More Better team. Thanks for listening to me. I want you to remember, not just that we all bleed red, but it's something to share with others because they forget that when they help someone else, they help themselves. And now a shout out to all those who put themselves in harm's way to protect others. Thank you. May God bless you and protect you. Until the next time, bye now. Thank you.